Hi guys, Emma again. Just some ideas to carry on from yesterday's session. I was thinking about going from free drawing into doing some kind of map work free drawing, and I really like this line. It's only half a line from a book by Tim Ingold called Lines about maps. And he says the vast majority of maps that have ever been drawn by human beings have scarcely survived the immediate context of their production. These are usually contexts of storytelling in which people describe the journeys they've made. He goes on to talk a little bit more about that. But I thought, given that we're in quite unusual times at the moment, those journeys can be depicted in something that's similar to a map. It could be a literal physical map. So one example that I've got here is that I always take sketchbooks with me whenever I go on holiday, and I'll be putting bits and pieces into them. So you can see here, let me just get the marker out of the way. Okay, you can see here where I've taken a bit of an actual map here, and then really just been kind of drawing onto it. Lots of circles and lines and dots and so on. Circles, lines and dots can be really, really pleasing, particularly circles. And I'll make lots of notes about those. And then that can go into something that's maybe a little bit more abstract. So just, you can see the edge of the page there is really, it's just a doodle, but it's lots of interlocking lines. Interlocking lines again can be really pleasing, and they can just disappear whenever you want them to. Just do another pair of lines over the top, so they can go in, out, wherever they want to. You just do a little bit of shading at any of the joins, and that can be really pleasing. You can go as abstract as you want, and then if we're thinking about maps, we're thinking about place, we're thinking about home, then one of the things you might prefer to do or combine, I'm going to combine the two. So I'm going to be drawing on this later on, and I'll show you later what it produced. But it's that old classic of the task where you have vanishing points and you're really looking at perspective, and you're looking at doing essentially a drawing of a building or series of buildings, but really thinking about how the lines, how the parallel lines will move away to the vanishing point. So you can see I've got a horizontal line there. By the way, this is a drawing on an envelope, so I didn't really want to use things that I didn't think you might have handy. So I found an envelope, and it was the most colourful envelope I could find, and I'm not very good at opening my post, so I actually opened it and used the letter inside to put some white into it as well. But basically drew this horizontal line, and it's got those vanishing points, so it's got one on each side of that horizontal line, and then anything that is going to the left or going to the right has to go towards the vanishing point. You can find lots of advice on that in various different YouTube videos and so on, or you can look at examples online as well. But essentially I just wanted to draw some kind of a building, and then I stuck a little bit of map work on it. I tore up a bit of map from an exhibition that I'd been to, and but really you could use anything. You could use a map on the back of a flyer. You don't need to use any map at all. I was just trying to combine the two. And then the bits in the background, as I said, it was literally the letter that was inside the envelope, cut up and stuck, as you can see, wonky in places, but stuck down so that I've got some lighter areas to work in. But I could have used just a different envelope, just a different white envelope against the colour, or bits from a magazine. It's such simple collage. The only thing you really need is a few bits and pieces of post and or a magazine and a Pritt stick. Don't worry if you haven't got any of those, because you can literally just draw on a scrap of paper, so anything that's come through the letterbox, with a biro, and just go for a really, really simple design. But do try and think about converging lines, think about what kind of journey you want to represent, what kind of place you want to design, and it can be completely imaginary. You know, it doesn't need to show anything that anyone else would understand, so whatever you do is right. And also I always tell my students, don't worry about going wrong. Don't worry about making lines that you don't like. Remember, you can always cover over them. You can always add another layer. You can always collage into it again tomorrow or another day. Just enjoy being playful with your lines. So it's lots of converging and parallel lines to create the illusion of depth. So you're creating that sense of distance using vanishing points, or just doing something that's really abstract, really doodly, on top of a bit of map. Anything that you find. I don't know, it might be like a flyer for Specsavers or something, and then there's a little bit of a map of where to find the shop, and you could just work on top of that or create your own. But enjoy, have a nice time, lots of love, bye.